Good morning and welcome back to Gamescom 2014. It's day 3 here of Gamescom, but we still have more Battlefield 4 action coming your way. We also have a little special thing this morning, and it's early. It's before the people are allowed in. So you guys at home are getting a real treat right now, because yesterday, unfortunately, we weren't able to complete all of our group stages. So we've got the teams back this morning, and you are going to be able to see the game live. It is Planetkey Dynamics versus ESC. And a reminder for you at home, if you don't know what's going on right now, one of these two teams, if they lose now, will go home. So big game for both teams. Let's find out how they get on with their commentary team, Jason and Alex.
Thank you for that, Paul. Yeah, we had some interesting games yesterday. We had, unfortunately, this one carry over into today. And it was funny because I was talking to them yesterday before they went on stage, and they're saying, yeah, you know, we're going to make this a quick game. It's not going to be here too long, don't worry. You don't have to stay here too late. Yeah. And then they end up having problems, and we have to actually move it to today. But either way, it's going to be a good game nonetheless here with ESC up against PKD. The loser is out in Group A. Yeah. Any thoughts on this one? It's going to be interesting.
Well, this was the game that yesterday we saw and we were like, wow, if ESC do end up going playing against PKD, these teams are going to be evenly matched.
The German teams up against each other.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, kind of a mix, an ESC mix up against a more established team. I don't know where it's going to go because ESC are very strong at the moment, but we can see their route so far. And you see Epsilon getting knocked down by Meteor.
Yeah, that was an interesting set of games yesterday.
A bit of a crazy one, wasn't
it? Lauren was she was on form. She was on par yesterday in her casting. It was just fantastic to see her so focused and professional. But yeah, as we can see, obviously, Meteor Makers, they came through out of Group A, being the first team from that one. Yep. Also, we have Group B as well. We finally had our team get through. Actually, that was Group B.
It was Group A.
That was Group B. No,
yeah,
Fnatic was... I am confused everywhere. It is early, like Paul said, obviously. And either way, let's just talk about ESC and PKD because this one's going to be a close game here. I don't actually know who's going to win. I mean, two German powerhouse teams going up against each other. Yeah. It's going to be, honestly, a good one.
I think it's time for the map vote to go underway. And looking at this one, I mean, Planetkey Dynamics, I know what they like, and I know that they can hear me, so I'm not going to mention the maps that they favor just yet. But
no, do it anyways. Do it anyways.
Okay, well, I've got
find out who the cheater is.
I've got my eyes on Zavod. See, they're going to get rid of
I'm happy to see Dawnbreaker actually taken away. We've seen it like almost every set of games yesterday.
One of the few games we have actually seen Dawnbreaker eliminated. Locker going out as well. This is interesting. They're trying to maybe get rid of some of these more close quarter maps. Siege as well, going to be the last one to be eliminated. Now it's just a question of the order. I think we're going to be seeing Zavod up first. And now, if I was them, I'd be thinking Paracel up on second. I'm actually wrong with Lancang Dam. This is the first time we've seen it so far, or at least I've seen it in the games I've casted. And Paracel Storm as the decider. Shake of hands. I think it's all going to be fun and games here. You see Jera and Benny there for ESC, outsider for PKD.
I don't know if I remember what Lancang Dam looks like because we haven't played it we haven't played it at all.
It has been avoided. It has, and I thought
there's a reason.
You know, whether there's a reason or whether it was teams maybe saving it for later, thinking maybe, avoid the map as much as possible. There was an incredible amount of Dawnbreaker. Saw a stupid amount of that map yesterday. Whether or not that's going to be the case, seeing that first eliminated in our first game today, maybe it's a sign of what's to come.
Thank God.
Thank God.
I'm just really, I hate seeing the same 3 maps every time. I like to see teams really
mix it up.
Yeah, mix it up. Put some new maps in there and see what they can do on that one. Lancang Dam, though, that one's interesting for me because it's one of those maps where it's really one-sided. If you get the building control, you can hold a tri-cap really easily because of the respawns coming on the outside. It's really hard to push in from that one if you have the high ground on them. Obviously, that map will be coming up second. But Zavod, we should focus on that one a little bit here. We saw it a couple times yesterday. Yeah. We saw some interesting plays, usually just kind of standard, nothing really crazy coming out in the actual group stage.
No, we saw a couple of engineer classes in the kind of the early beginnings of Zavod, clearing the building. It is almost becoming a standard play now. I mean, you've probably seen it a lot more than me, but on Zavod, every single time I cast this map, there's that early destruction to clear that vision from the initial US spawn across to that B.
Well, there is one thing that's really interesting between these two teams. So you were actually casting this game yesterday with Pansy, and it was a close one. ESC versus Epsilon. Yeah. And ESC won by 1 ticket against them.
Oh, on this map,
not easy feat.
Incredible game. Admittedly, Epsilon went to take the next 2, and a lot more convincingly. Yeah. In that first map, it has to be said, both. Well, as individuals and as a team, ESC looked really, really strong. One ticket strong.
Considering they're kind of like, as I said, a mixed pug. I mean, it's not like necessarily been a team that have been playing the entirety of the cups. They've obviously been prepared for this moment, but not as much as these other teams have. PKD, though, the team that you were really backing yesterday, the really team that can kind of... I'm not trying to call you out, don't worry. I'm just saying, you said if they come out strong, then they can usually take some maps. And I mean, right now, they're going to... I don't know if they have to pick up the first map against ESC. To me, these two teams are pretty even in skill.
Yeah, no, I'd say so. PKD put up a fight yesterday. Admittedly, they were outmatched and outgunned, but this could be a new Planetkey. I know their confidence is not going to be the highest right now, considering they haven't taken a map yet. ESC have.
And it's really also early in the morning.
It's incredibly early in the morning. So it's going to be interesting to see where that takes them. The problem I have with ESC, or not, well, maybe not a problem so much, but ESC are a team that if Jera doesn't show up today, and he said he was feeling unwell yesterday, I was having a chat with him, he said, oh, I feel rubbish, man, I think it's the water. And I was like, what? What's wrong with the German water? You leave it alone. But yeah, he had some excuses. Yeah, he had some excuses, and that's part of what they're playing for there on your screens now, guys. The ESL One Summer.
I'd rather have that than the money.
I think so. You know when someone walks into your house, they don't see the 30 grand. They see that awesome, huge cup on your mantelpiece, and that's what they're really battling for.
All right, so game is about to start here, so it's going to drop into game. Going to be first map on Zavod here between ESC and PKD. Going to find out which team will be eliminated and which team will be coming through. Actually, sorry, which team will be eliminated, which team will be going through into the decider match of Group B. We're going to have over on the US side, it will be ESC. Over on the Russian side, it will be PKD here. And before we finally do officially, I guess, drop into game, who's your money on?
I'm a bit of an ESC fanboy. Admittedly, I was a bit of a PKD fanboy yesterday, but right now, I think ESC, especially because of the plays I saw Smashu pull out on this map, that's where my money lies. Still, let's jump into game and see where they're taking us right now. You can see an initial hold for PKD, but whether that's going to be short-lived, it looks like it might be with Jera's presence on this Beast flag. It immediately rips down the US flag and starts putting up his own. In fact, no, sorry, rips down the Russian flag.
He'll rip down his own just to put a new one up. Who cares?
Yeah.
I mean, it's up to him.
He's just decorating, but there you go. So as the dust settles, we see that BC hold for ESC. Hupsuck's going to hold strong, and they could be looking to get a trip cap here. I think C's integrity may be questioned, though. We'll see how that works out. The numbers are starting to come, and they're starting to fall as well, but we know, but it's all on Inozi now to try and clear out the remaining defensive players down in the depths of C, and it's always a dangerous place to go on your own.
Sure, there's so many angles you can be shot from. There's going to be one man right next to the staircase here. He's going to finally push in as he gets a couple of respawns in. Oh, it's the guy. No, he doesn't get the guy in underpass, and he gets taken down from that one. A little bit unfortunate. Outside now, going to give his chance to try to do something here. Will be taken down as he does get one man as well here. But either way, between these two teams, it's going to be a team kill because they're knocking out, a fellow German team in this one. And obviously, both of them do want to go through, but only one can really do it into the decider match here. But a great start coming out of the US side here. 137, 121. You see where the lead built up. Not huge. Then again, we're only a minute and a half in.
Yeah, we're very early doors right now, and I saw a bit of a slip up there from ESC. They kind of let them have B as well as A. Almost gifting them two sites there, just kind of holding on to C, maybe kind of gathering resources and starting to head over to B, and it's worked a charm. 2 players full for PKD, opens up that B site nice and wide, but now look at C site. 2 players from PKD, no one there to respond in force from ESC. I know Smashu did some amazing work on this defense of this site yesterday, but right now he's coming in looking to do a repeat of history.
All right, well, let's see if they can come in the back. So you can see a 2-man push in. So Doobie's going to lead the charge here, but immediately be taken down. Hupsuck's not going to come in. He knows at least where one man is, just from his teammate. Spots out Jansen, and he gets taken down. Remember, Jansen had some really big numbers yesterday in their games, and he might be able to do it yet again here. Currently going to be sitting at 5-3 here. Not a bad start for him. Smashu has snuck in here, and it's all on an outsider in a 1-on-2 to hold on to this flag. He sees it being capped over. He's being shot from the staircase. And now with Jansen getting the respawn and getting even the revive on outside, they're going to go for a 3-man push now. They haven't broken through just yet. They've gotten 1 kill, but they've got more to take down than that. And it's going to be Doobie left all alone here in a 1-on-3, and I don't really think he's going to be able to hold on to this one.
So it's a bit of a mountain to climb for him. We see that ticket still staying pretty close. It's very similar to that game we saw yesterday, as Jansen, the man who really shone brightly for PKD yesterday, is going to try and do the same again. This time, though, 2 players looking for him. Smashu and Jera make it 3 now as Benny starts spawning in as well. It's going to be a big one. You see Jansen on the prowl, knows there's going to be a player around this tank area, and he hasn't managed to find it. It is Benny. He's just missing every single turn. Manages to finally catch him off guard. Taken down by outsider with that CZ. So B starting to change hands.
It's not done just yet. Looks like Smasher has actually gone into the side as well, trying to look for that kill that he needs, but it's taken down. Hysteria picks up that one, and that will be B finally locked over here for PKD. So finally getting a little bit of ground here, finally getting a 2-to-1 hold, finally having a little bit of a lead here, but they do need a lockdown C here. As you see, Doobie pushing in, finally getting a little bit of a break here as he picks up a kill. Currently at 7-5 here for his team. Every time we go to him, though, he seems to just die. So I'm actually probably not going to spectate him anymore for this one. But nonetheless, you can see still being contested. It looks like it's going to eventually go to the PKD side as they have more men here. You can see the flag status being capped over slowly, being stopped over and over again, and seen coming in from the underpass. Gets a kill. Doobie, though, missing the shots. I don't know what that was about. He had clear vision of that guy. It wasn't even seen, and he whiffed the entirety of that one. Hupsuck's now the last man standing. This will be finally a 2-1 hold here. Now, PKD, how are they going to set up? Look at this. They're sending 3 men to B, not knowing where this respawn's coming in from, and this is going to allow the rest of ESC to just push straight in.
Yeah, indeed. You see Scene is going to be under a little bit of trouble. He knows there's going to be people coming straight onto the side, and he hasn't managed to catch him just yet, though. Fortunately, Jansen was there to pick up the pieces of that one, and we see the BC hold still standing strong. It looked like it was going to be a problem, but you actually see ESC forced to back into a corner. Look at these spawns now, though. We see 2 players in that kind of bottom left corner. Hupsucks and Doobie maybe going to be waiting for, and a couple more to spawn in on them. But we're going to see this be assault. And look at Hupsucks' positioning. It has to just be outlined that he is really going for a walk.
Right now, he's going to be able to pick up some kills as well here using the CZ. So actually quite a bit yesterday, now that I think about it. It's definitely proven to be strong in this close-range combat. Obviously, with the attack speed of it, or the fire rate of it is ridiculous. But right now, you can see this. A was picked up. They pulled him over towards the A site. Able to pick up B, able to pick up C here. So now you see with the quick change, as you can see, it's 94-70. Close game so far here, as we expected. But PKD just winning out just so slightly currently.
What I really want to see now is how ESC can hold on to this. We saw what PKD can do. We can see how they can kind of create a very mobile perimeter. They don't like to sit in. I see a lot of PKD players constantly being mobile, constantly repositioning. ESC trying something a bit different, though, staying very stationary on that B side. It hasn't worked on the C side, though, as PKD throw 4 players and succeed in swapping that one over. And we see actually Smashu being fortunate with that random spawn to take A for their troubles.
I think we're still a little bit loopy from yesterday.
Oh, we were.
That was 12 hours, sanity, I think it was, a work day. Very tough, but either way, Jansen coming in from the side. Will unfortunately miss on that shot, so B will be maintained. A still being contested, though, as you see PKD going to come out with that one. But look at this. They have a pincer move on the only man, Scene, all by himself here. And if ESC are quick enough, they're going to be able to pick this up. But let's see. Can Scene do anything about this? We're going to tag along with him here. As you can see, teammates finally coming in. Gets taken down by Doobie, I believe it was. And this is going to be ESC potentially picking this up. Hysteria trying to give his shot here, but he can't hit any of the bullets under that staircase. And he will be taken outside now, the last man standing over towards the B flag. And see, it will be picked up here by that great pincer move.
Now, this is the question. Do they, well, they're well aware that B's been taken. Do they start trying to conflict around that, or do they start heading to A? Hupsucks has got the idea to go to A. Scene has the same, though, so it's going to be an altercation on the other side of the map. But right now, Jera is looking to do some real strong work at the moment. He's taking down 2, looking for the 3rd as well. He knows, well and truly, there's going to be a lot of PKD players around this site. He hasn't gone down, though, and he's keeping 3 players busy, which is a huge, huge move. If Jera can keep this up, and they're well aware of his presence, and if they leave him, they know that B flag's going to be taken. So they have to hunt him, and he does finally go down.
The thing is, I mean, he finally goes down, but you called it perfectly. He pulled 3 people to B, and when there's 3 people there, that's, well, 2 people you're not going to have either the other flags.
A, but I mean, they haven't. That's a bit of a problem.
Definitely taking the time to go for that one here. As you can see, going to close in for a couple different directions. Scene, last man standing, picks up 1. And we'll get the revive in on his teammate as well, but there's so many more other people around here. I don't know if they can really lock this one down. They have picked it up here, but looks like PKD just going to be slow in that push. But look at the C already breaking out with the 2-on-3 fight here. And Nosy on top of the tank picks up a first frag on a Smashu. And CP transitions right into the side here to jump straight in under the ground. And we'll pick up a second kill here onto Benny. He's going to get the revives in as well. And looks like that push coming in. They lost 1 ticket for picking up the C flag and potentially a tri-cap.
Yeah, I think if ESC were going to do anything, it needs to be within these next 5 tickets. They need to stop, kind of do a bit of damage control, pick up that CA hold. I think B is just a pipe dream right now. Look at the perimeter PKD. You've got Hysteria and Jansen dug in deeper on that site, but in the meantime, we'll see where they send their players. Looking at that C flag now, Jason, and I'm looking at those tickets. I think it needs to happen pretty soon.
It's potentially a final push.
Very much their last hope, and if they can secure C, look like they might have. Outsider is still ever present, though, and if he's still alive, that site's not going down without a fight. He's heavily tagged up, not going to go down just yet. He's actually going to try and put something, anything he can, down towards that flag. He's desperate to not have to go down himself, though. In the meantime, Benny, why did Benny expose himself like that? He gets punished for it. The CZ in that close quarters cannot be questioned, and look at that. PKD are going to be triumphant on that C site, but in the meantime, B has been secured. So they did actually manage to force all of those PKD resources over to C, and quite smartly picked up B instead.
No, it's just a battle of how close they can make this game here. I mean, a 14-ticket lead, if they could potentially pull something like that off, is not really that big in the end here. And right now, they need to maintain B. Smashu is going to give everything he has at this one. And as you can see, He's still losing the fight nonetheless. Spots at the first man. Gonna get seen taken down here. He will stay alive, and unfortunately not for too long as he finally does fall here to Hysteria, so they will lose out on B. And it looks like, well, that dream of potentially picking up maybe a first half victory, nonetheless 12 tickets, is going to come crashing down with a 40 ticket lead here for PKD.
Yeah, and now, right now, I mean, we've seen bigger things happen before. If ESC can secure C here, we've seen Doobie did his best, did go down though. If they can secure C here, they can try and knock that 47 as far down as possible, but these tickets are falling faster than I expected. Only 4 remain. There was 10 when I started that sentence. And so right now, C looking to finally change hands. ESC going to be happy with that one. That's going to stop the bleed, but look how profusely they have already bled. 2 tickets now remain. It's looking pretty rough and ready. ESC looking to take B, but in the meantime, surely A is going to be a swapped out, and if they can just keep it busy enough for that 1 ticket, 1 respawn, it's basically TDM, as Jason so eloquently put before, and I don't think PKD are too worried about these remaining tickets. 36, just trying to get as low as possible. Finally, the last one ticks over, and it's 36. Notepad out, try and see exactly.
What's pen you have there?
Is it going to be a? It's not really a mountain to climb. It's more of a kind of molehill, if that. It's not much for ESC to worry about, but that can make the huge difference, especially with teams as evenly matched as these.
Impressive hand movements right there. He's clapping with both hands.
Yeah, really that's two one-handed claps. That's what he's doing.
It's impressive.
Yeah, it is.
But I mean, as we can see on the kills death score, the scoreboard, 19 and 9 for Outsider.
Wow,
great job by him. 12 and 10 for Inozi, 13 and 11 for Scene, 11 and 14 for Jansen, and 11 and 12 for Hysteria. And over on the other side, well, nothing really stands out. We do have 15-17 for Benny, which is not bad. But Smash, the guy you're kind of crying earlier on, the guy who can really step up for the team, well, 8 and 14, not the best of results.
So actually, Benny top fragging, someone who's kind of a bit hit and miss. This time, he's certainly hit. And we can see the PKD players, not the biggest smiles on their faces. He's obviously want to keep his hands warm. It is quite early,
I'm trying to do it myself, and it's not
jazz. It's kind of jazz, but loose jazz hands. Yeah. I don't know the players well enough to say who's doing that, but
I don't understand how that works. I'm glad the camera's not coming to us though.
No.
We look really stupid right now trying this. Then again, it's really early in the morning, so I think we're allowed to get away with that one here. But obviously, the second half will be kicked off in just a second, guys. We're gonna have PKD over on the US side, ESC over on the Russian side. This will be the second half of the first map, and when we go to map number 2, it will be on Lancang Dam, and it will be honestly an interesting one. The first time we're going to see it here in this tournament, in the actual playoffs. I don't even know how many times we saw it in the groups. I think less than 3. If I'm not mistaken. It's not really one of those maps that was really heavily favored here, and I wonder how we're going to start this one off. Obviously, we saw a lot of engineer kits, a lot of explosives, a lot of walls being taken out in the beginning. But I don't know. We didn't really see anything kind of awe-inspiring off the beginning. Nothing really amazing really kicking off.
No, I think we're going to be jumping straight into game. I think we are live, so we'll see. Jason, let's just see how they go about this. Remember we saw the early PKD and immediately responding by a 2-hold, on 2-cap rather, for ESC.
I think PKD actually going to go put for a 1-man push just to get information here for Nosy. Try to spot where they're working over towards middle, which we've seen teams time and time again really focus a lot of attention on this direction. But look at this, that wall not being taken out just yet. You do see finally take it down here as they start to push in, but then will be taken down here. That will be thwarted, and it will be PKD controlling this.
Keep your eye on Smash shoot.
He's looking for something, but I don't know, the range he's trying to shoot at right now is not really working in his favor. And as you can see, he's going to start to push in into that underground, and we'll spot out Jansen. Well, Jansen will get the better of him here. So PKD, strong start. They have 5 kills to 5 kills each. Kind of surprising considering it feels like it's been PKD's game so far.
Well, it certainly has, losing only 3 tickets so far in contrast to ESC. Almost 20, and so not the best start for them, but they are managing to score now AB. Looking good, whether or not they can hold on to the Russian side as well. Keep an eye on them. And right now, Scene finally goes down. Jera had to put a whole magazine towards him to finally neutralize that B side, but I would have to worry now that PKD in Nosy has been this constant presence. He seems to just hang out outside. Now his time is going to be securing outside, are doing great work as well. And Nosy now has managed to bring A under their control. I don't think he's going to have much action now, as he's just going to sit back and wait for the players to come to him. Bear in mind that 36 ticket advantage, so PKD, their lead may look minimal, but you add 36 to that, and it's not too bad at all, not too shabby. Doobie struggling to get over some metal there. And,
it happens.
It does. So a bit of constant action going on now. This time it's going to be B where most of the bloodshed is. See Doobie charging over the tank. He's going to find outside a nice bit of shooting from the hip. Is he going to manage to revive his teammate? Just about. Timer was ticking away on that one. and the tickets leveling out if we don't consider the first half.
Right now, as you can see, Benny will eventually get taken out towards A, but he's pulled, let's just say, every respawn over in that direction, that northeast side. So it gives ESC the rest of the time to set up. And as you can see, Doobie can be watching from the tank sides, or at least the northern tanks. You have Jared rotating over towards C a little bit. You have Hupsucks watching the underpass right now. Friend that comes in through that section. And ESC, they have potential for a very strong hold here, but right now, Hupsucks is taken down. The defense is starting to crumble a little bit here, and Outsiders start to push in through the staircase. We'll be taken on right away, though. I believe that was by Jared, who's off to the side waiting for the rotate. Everyone I go to is dying. Please, stop this.
It's the death by Jason's finger. Just double-clicking on them. So holding that C flag, but pretty short-lived again. PKD, constant presence around this BC flag. Whichever one they don't currently have, they're throwing numbers at. And this time, though, looks like it's not going to be a pretty rough ride. And look at Smasher working it out. Didn't succeed so well in the first half. This time looking to redeem himself, as he does manage to bring C under his team's control. A as well. Jera's going to be transforming that one into a Russian flag. If he can hold on, he's got to pick up a 1v2. Doesn't in the meantime. That's going to be nice work from Hysteria, but this is going to be a bit of a battle for the A side, something we don't quite so often see. In contrast, this time though, Smashu is battling through fire and flames. He knows there's going to be one around there. The spot has been successful, but not the kill. Hysteria just a little too strong for them, and now with a BA hold, tickets are favoring ESC, but very, very slightly.
And we saw something actually just within the last few minutes. The fact that ESC had a CB hold, the most favorable hold in this map. They had the time to set up perfectly for the push, and yet they just crumbled. And we kind of see just the result of them not really being, you know, a real team, I guess. You know, kind of just a pug, just a pickup for them. And that's something that's really going to hurt them if they progress through further in this tournament.
I'm just going to bring the scoreboard up for you guys just to see that there's no one really standing out for me at the moment. I'm just going to say that Jera is on 8 frags. That's the highest on the ESC side, and over on PKD, only 7. So very few frags exchanged. Something we don't normally see. Normally we see a standout player for ESC. This time maybe they're either working more as a team, or just there's no one quite bringing their A game. 96-95. Nice play from the AEK, taking down Outsider. It's a big array of weapons though for the ESC side. Got obviously the CZ. As the BA hold. That's interesting positioning from Hupsucks. I think he's going to be... he's been favoring this a little bit, actually. Saw it early game. This time we're seeing it on the B defense as opposed to the assault, and I think that's going to be pretty smart move from him.
To me, it's like only a spot that works once, because like then they know you're up there. They can easily spot you from everywhere on the map. Right now, he does spot out one man, though. Sees him coming actually in, and this is what he's been spot just set, though. A respawn coming in might actually give that one away here. Jared coming to the side. I believe Jared knows exactly where he's going to be here, and let's see if he can pick up the kill. It's going to be an easy 1v1 for him.
Or not, as the case may be. Going to have to try and resort to explosives. He's going to get away from that one. And those tickets are starting to favor ESC. They need to keep chunking away at them, though. Hold on to these 2 sites, and they've failed to do so, as now PKD managing to get some spawns on top of Hysteria. And Benny's the only man from ESC in a position to change this site. Looking very cautious though. Was he waiting for a spawn there?
He took his time forever. Yeah. I mean, I think he was just drawing people back. It took, I think, 2 or 3 people with them. And allowed us to see it again to get, you know, the position they want. But, you know,